Okay, Rudy. Explain to me again how exactly you got us on a reality TV show.
Well, they were having open auditions at the racetrack last week.
It really wasn't much of an audition. More like we just filled out a form.
Needless to say, we actually thought we were filling out the betting form.
Wait a minute. Why were they having auditions for a reality TV show at a racetrack?
Oh, I don't know, Don. Why would a reality show, the lowest form of entertainment, be holding auditions at a place full of the lowest form of desperate people trying to strike it rich?
Yeah, what a bunch of maroons.
Did any of you actually win any money to, I don't know, help out with rent next week, or contribute to the air freshener account? By the way, Merv, lay low on the White Castle for a while.
Well, after we found out that we were going to be on the show, mainly because we were the only ones who filled out a form, we forgot all about placing bets and decided to go out and celebrate.
The only way we know how.
Oh, you mean buying a case of beer, driving down to the boardwalk, and berating the street performers?
It's like you were there.
Because I was there. You guys took my car while I was still driving it, and I still don't know how that happened. And that's when you told me about this reality show.
Well, I placed a bet on Homeless Junkie.
Unfortunately, Merv, that wasn't a clever name for a horse, but actually a homeless junkie.
Oh. Well, that's why I didn't win anything.
Okay, so I'm done now.
We've been waiting for 3 hours.
Yeah, well, I found out doing background checks on you guys really is time consuming. Now, who is Rudy Mill?
Yo.
Okay, so I found out that your claim to be on the colony actually checked out, but they said that you got kicked off only after 10 minutes because you stabbed one of the other contestants?
Well, they said we were survivors of an apocalyptic world. They said survive by any means necessary.
But that didn't include you killing off your fellow cast members.
Hey, when it's the end of civilization, anything goes.
You were in Utah. You were only 15 minutes away from civilization.
You ever been to Utah? I'd hardly say it's civilization.
All right, who's Cooper Johnson?
Oh shit. I actually put my real name on that form. I meant to put Hunk Dickens.
You claim you weren't on any reality show, but when I was checking your history, it actually said you were on To Catch a Predator.
I was on what now? Katie! I gotta tell you, I love this hide and seek game. Usually we play this after I violently sexually assault you, though. Katie!
Hello.
Hello?
Are you Cooper, also known as Underage Penetrator 69?
Listen, Katie didn't tell me about an extra guy in the mix. But I'm open-minded. But if we cross dicks, so help me, you're in trouble.
Why don't you have a seat?
What for?
I'd like to talk to you.
Oh, so you're one of those I want to get to know you first kind of guys, huh? Listen, man, I don't know how long you've been doing this, but the less we know about each other, the better. So let's find that 15-year-old girl and get the fuck out of here before our parents show up. I was pretty much wasted during that whole ordeal, so I really don't remember much of anything. The arrest, the trial, the sentencing, it's all pretty much a blur.
I don't even know how to react to that.
Nobody does.
Okay, Merv Morgan.
Here. First time I was ever on time for attendance.
Okay, you were on The Biggest Loser.
Damn right. To prove a point.
Okay, Merv, your weight loss goal was 5 pounds, and according to the scale, you've actually gained 40 pounds. How you did that in only 5 days is somewhat of a mystery.
Dirty Joe's all-you-can-eat lard buffet contest.
It astounds me that even exists. Well, I'm sorry, Merv, but you are not the biggest loser.
Ha! In your face, Don. I told you I wasn't the biggest loser in the world. Choke on them apples.
So I'm assuming you're Don Solo. Well, according to your history, you and actually all of you all have been on Cops. In 17 consecutive episodes.
Consecutive? Oh. They said they were going to spread that out over the course of 2 years.
Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, we can start shooting. If you'd follow me, please.
What kind of reality show is this, anyway?
I'm entirely sure. It's obviously the one we're qualified for, though. It was just an ordinary day like any other.
We were all just gonna get something to eat from the OLR.
And then it was as if the air changed.
I could just tell from the faint smell in the air that this was going to end badly.
We all didn't see it coming. We had no way to predict it was going to be as bad as it was.
Merv, that son of a bitch. He just had this sadistic smile on his face. You knew he planned it from the beginning.
Suddenly, it just came out of nowhere. The whole car, it was engulfed in it.
We couldn't breathe.
That son of a bitch! He put the child locks on the window so we couldn't roll them down!
I actually thought I was gonna die.
While slipping in and out of consciousness, I actually tried to open the door in the hopes that I could leap out of the car and attempt to escape, but it was too late. He already locked the doors.
I knew that if I didn't do anything, we were all gonna die.
I mean, I was in the passenger seat. I mean, I could have done something, but I was just too weak from the lack of oxygen. And luckily, though, Cooper was able to function a little longer than the rest of us.
I don't know if it was because I was sitting in the back passenger side, so the gas got to me last, or if it was the grace of God that helped me. But I was able to hold on a little bit longer than Rudy and Don.
I started to pray.
I wanted to, but after getting kicked out of Catholic school for looking up one of the young nuns' robes, I was unable to learn the Lord's Prayer.
With all my strength, I had kicked open the window of the car, and in just a few seconds, the car was filled with fresh air. I had known I saved all our lives. Freedom! Sweet, delicious freedom!
If it wasn't for Coop, I wouldn't be here today telling this horrific cautionary tale. I cried a little afterwards.
I did not. My eyes were just tearing up from the fumes.
He was bawling his eyes out. He even gave me a big hug and thanked me for saving his life afterwards.
He told you what?
Afterwards, we were so grateful that we were going to continue living.
The events from that day made me really rethink my life. So I decided to nail every underage girl whose hands I can duct tape together.
That's for saying I hugged you.
Oh, we definitely sought revenge on Merv for what he did.
The whole beating is truly foggy in my memory. I honestly don't know how I survived that.
He rolled up in a ball and started reciting lines from Howard the Duck.
I don't know how I survived the time Rudy made me sit through that movie.
Have you seen the duck tits in the beginning of that movie?
Truly a horrifying scene for anyone to witness.
I was a little disappointed we didn't get to see any more throughout the movie. Honestly, it gave me an erection.
Once Cooper gets a boner, if you're a 13-year-old girl who sort of resembles Evan Rachel Wood, not gonna survive.
Well, your state of mind won't be the same.
What other situations did I survive?
Well, there was the time that I fought a gorilla.
Ha! That was an awesome trip to the zoo.
He jumped into that pit like he was a man on a mission.
I don't know if it was the Jack Daniels or the Quaaludes, but I felt I could take on that oversized chimp bastard.
That thing picked him up and threw him way across the exhibit.
He smacked that pavement pretty hard. Took 100 stitches to seal that cutout.
I got a few good shots.
He's talking about the whiskey shots Cooper handed him through the bars.
He looked like he needed a confidence boost.
Those keepers didn't pull me out of that exhibit. I don't know what I would have done. Seriously, you guys should be talking to that thing instead of me. Found out how he survived. Or she. I never can tell.
Rudy's arm was bending completely the wrong direction. He needed metal plate and screws to keep it all together.
It's a pain in the ass when I have to go through customs. I set off any metal detector.
I survived my mom's abortion!
Well, there was this time I was with this girl, and it was pretty brutal.
I've heard this story before, and trust me, it's not pleasant.
Well, I was going down on her. Well, I don't know how I survived that odor.
He's telling you guys what story?
Well, I tried to tough it out, but I just couldn't. So I ended up giving her a barf bag.
He gave her a what?
Well, it's when you vomit into a girl's...
Ew.
The story gets worse.
Surprisingly, she wasn't all that bothered by it. So I just took it as an incentive to keep on going.
He didn't.
KY ain't got nothing on puke.
Oh, God.
Of course, I did have a meatball sandwich that day, so it felt sort of odd.
Ew. Ooh.
So I finished up and left that morgue as fast as I could.
What?
I told you it got worse.
There was a time I tried to hang myself and survived.
It wasn't because he was trying to commit suicide. It was for sexual pleasure, if you follow what I'm trying to set up for you.
Well, I don't know if he got that from me or Dave Carradine.
Don was the one who found him.
Well, I was just sitting in the kitchen, paying my bills, working on taxes, trying to lead a productive life, when all of a sudden I heard this loud thud.
Apparently a standard ceiling fan can't hold my weight.
Well, we all heard the thud. But with Merv in the house, it's actually a pretty frequently heard sound. Because he does walk from one room to another, he sort of gasses himself out, and when that happens, he just passes out.
But we let Don be the first to examine the situation.
I turned the knob of that door, and I couldn't tell you what I was expecting to see, but it wasn't that.
I felt bad that Don had to be the one to discover it.
It was horrifying.
Then again, I'm kind of glad he did.
He was all blue.
Looked like Merv was strangling Papa Smurf down there.
I immediately ran into the bathroom to pour rubbing alcohol in my eyes.
We didn't know if we should call an ambulance or grab a camera. We were in panic, but I really gotta give this one to Coop again because once again he saved the day.
I had my digital camera handy.
When I came to, I saw Rudy and Coop chuckling.
That picture was going online immediately.
I still get recognized on the street for that.
I did get stranded on a desert island once. I had to survive on nothing but coconuts and whatever bugs I could get my hands on.
Stranded on a desert island?
The sun was beating down on me and burning up every skin cell in my body, so I had to figure out a way to get off.
Seriously, he's saying that he was once trapped on a desert island?
I chopped down those coconut trees and decided to make a raft out of them.
Stranded on an island made of nothing but sand out in the middle of the ocean.
I killed some sea turtles and used them as floats for my raft. I tied the raft together using human hair for my back.
Was I out of town when this went on or something?
Okay, I know what's going on here. Rudy once took a whole lot of LSD while watching Pirates of the Caribbean. In his hallucinogenic, out-of-body experience, he actually, for a whole day, thought he was Captain Jack Sparrow, and actually believes that he lived through the movie.
What really happened to my turtles?
We all had to survive Merv's attempt at stand-up comedy on open mic night.
I thought I was pretty good.
Good jokes. He said...
Alright, so you got these two gay guys walking on the beach, okay? One of them stumbles across a lamp. Genie pops out. Genie goes, I'll grant you one wish. Anything you want in the world. Guy goes, I don't know what to wish for. The other one goes, I don't know either. Genie goes, alright, whenever you guys want something, just think of it, and it'll come true.
Oh, this joke is so politically incorrect.
Alright, so these two gay guys are in bed having butt sex, alright? When all of a sudden, the door breaks down, and you got a mob of men in ghost costumes that take the two fruits out front, throwing nooses around their necks.
Okay, so you see where this is going?
Okay, so one of the gay guys goes, what the fuck is going on here? Which the other gay guy replies, man, I fucked up. Which the other queer replies, how? So the other queer goes, well, when we were in bed, I wish we were hung like a couple of black guys.
Merv forgot to tell us that the open mic night was taking place at the Apollo Theater.
I mean, I did get a lot of reaction out of the crowd.
You stupid motherfucking ass motherfucking hockey bitch ass bitch!
I do have to say that Merv was probably the most entertaining comic of that night.
Considering that he was the first one to go on that night, and after that, a riot team had to basically come in and save Merv.
What a fucking idiot.
Oh, it wasn't like Rudy and Coop haven't ever started a fight before. I mean, there was this one time we went to a White Sox game.
Oh, how did I know this was going to get thrown back into my face?
Oh, sweet honey wafers, I was there for this.
Alright, so it was the Sox versus the Yankees, alright? Which, oddly enough, we were in the outfield where all the Yankees fans sat.
I do have to question as to why in God's name are Yankee fans in Chicago.
I assume they all got outfield seats because they knew the Yankees were going to be the only team getting any hits that night. Look, I've been a Sox fan my entire life, okay? I'm not going to fucking kid myself.
So the Sox were down 8-0, alright? And those Yankee fans sure were giving it to Rudy and Coop.
It's like they thought we didn't know what the score was. Yeah, we're only sitting right underneath the fucking scoreboard.
They actually didn't know the score from time to time, because when they go to a Sox game, they are usually really intoxicated.
So Rudy and Coop are really getting pissed off with these Yankees fans, and they just can't figure out anything to say back at them.
Oh, I knew exactly what to say back to them. But I was just trying to be a good sport about the situations.
We were really just lost for comebacks.
So Rudy stands up and says, "At least planes don't fly into our buildings!"
Yeah, I went there.
And then Cooper jumps out of his seat and screams!
The Sears Tower is still standing! Good times. Good times.
Then they caused the game to end, because Rudy and Coop took refuge onto the field, and you really can't continue a baseball game when you have 100 Yankee fans chasing you on the field.
We were banned from the field. And all of Major League Baseball. We can't even watch a game on TV or else we'll go to jail.
Good times.
I would just like to make it perfectly clear that I was only at the game because they either needed a designated driver or someone to provide them with bail money.
Oh, it's not like Don's any better. I mean, I remember this one time he just watched this horrible video.
Okay, in my defense, it was accidentally sent to me through my Netflix account, alright? I had never heard of the movie before, and I thought from the title it was just going to be a cheesy horror flick. I thought we could all sit around, have a good laugh. But I admit, we weren't prepared.
The horrific scenery of that movie caused paralysis to our entire bodies, so we were helplessly forced to sit through the entire movie.
I admit, that one actually is a miracle that we survived.
No one's really a survivor when they watch Tommy Wiseau's The Room. That shot of his ass still haunts me to this day.
Did you see that flower shop scene? It made no sense! The dialogue was all out of place!
So, what else is there?
I survived falling out of a plane.
No, this time it has nothing to do with a hallucinogenic drug.
No, he really did survive falling out of that plane.
Didn't even have a single injury.
No, this actually happened.
There's still no explanation for how that was possible.
Salt, water, taffy.
Well, there was the time that I got into a scuffle with Jason Voorhees. And lived.
What drug-induced story is he telling you now?
I know what you're thinking. Rudy, how can you survive a Jason Voorhees attack?
I'd like to know that too.
Well, just like every other victim of his, I thought I was a goner too.
What's he talking about now?
But there I was, face to face with the hockey mask fiend. I mean, taking out that grill was another story. I was comfortable doing that. But this was Jason Voorhees. I mean, I actually shit my pants.
No, he did actually. I remember this story.
Don was there?
Actually, we were all there. See, it was at a horror convention. We were in line for a meet and greet with Kane Hodder, you know, the guy who played Jason Voorhees. Cooper was just distracted by all the Elvira lookalikes.
Oh, I remember now. Can't say I spent too much time with the gang that day. Was Rudy high when that happened?
Surprisingly, he wasn't high. He just thought it would be fun to pick a fight with Jason Voorhees.
I thought he was going to punch my head clean off my body, you know, like he did in Jason Takes Manhattan.
Good movie.
The guards kicked us out before Kane could do any permanent damage to Rudy.
Did Merv actually say that Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, is a good movie?
So in an odd way, I mean, I did get into a fight with Jason Voorhees and survived.
I honestly think he did it just so he could say that on this show. Because that would explain why he did it without the aid of alcohol or drugs.
Oh, I remember that whole day now. I got into a fight with Pinhead.
He's calling me what now?
Let's see. What other kind of gems are there in this vault?
Well, there was the time Cooper got into a fight with those guys from the biker bar.
Well, I didn't know they were bikers. See, I thought they were those damn leather fetish queers. So I decided to speak my mind. Because this is America, damn it. We get to say whatever the fuck we want.
He said the C word. A lot.
I could have taken them all, but they were well equipped with. Ow!
Ha! And that's for calling me Pinhead!
God damn. Oh, what the fuck?
Well, there was that time that Rudy and Cooper were actually challenging themselves to a game of Russian roulette.
That was a sticky situation.
Elaborate on that one? Well,
Next episode. What do you mean we're not done with this episode? Well, there was this one time.
Oh, hell no. Forget whatever Merv was trying to tell. I survived being poisoned.
oh, yeah. That was pretty bad.
Hey, the poison thing. Yeah, he was suffering, no doubt there.
I kind of remember this. But I don't remember how it happened.
You have no idea, man. It was awful. At first it started off as mild nausea. But, oh God. Oh God. My stomach. The insides were liquefying.
Oh, his insides were liquid, all right.
My insides. They were bubbling up and frothing all over.
I hate his melodrama. It always makes things even ickier than they already are.
What are you talking about? The others aren't sharing in my horror. I don't care what those fags think. They didn't have to live with an assassination attempt.
It was food poisoning. He got food poisoning. From pizza.
See, Cooper has this bad habit of ordering the strangest toppings he could find on his pizza. The culprit of this case was barbecue chicken, avocado, olive Munster pizza. Ugh.
Those assholes don't know what gourmet eating is. Neither those pig-headed pizza pussies. Did that sound weird to anyone else? Anyway, those fucks had it out for me since I started ordering from that rat hole.
He's obsessed with getting them to add the strangest ingredients possible. I'm all for expanding your palate, but he's just so vindictive about it.
It's a grudge thing. He says, "They're liars and hypocrites who engage in false advertising."
There are laws about that, damn it. The menu says they offer goat cheese pizza, but whenever I try to order it, apparently it's not on the menu anymore. Well then, why the hell's it on the menu, assholes?
Probably because Cooper refuses to get a new menu. He tears the ones off the pizza and burns them in effigy. I swear, sometimes his whole life is a catch-22.
I haven't caught 22 STDs yet. That bastard Don doesn't know what he's talking about. And that's not the point. Those pizza pricks got sick of me antagonizing them, so they decided to poison my order. They underestimated the Johnson resiliency.
Resilient Johnson. That Coop. Always with the dick jokes.
Fucking Rudy. Always with the dick jokes. Dicks come out of his mouth almost as much as they go in. The point is, I survived an assassination attempt. Clearly I win this show. Now where's my money? There's no money? This isn't a game? Well, why the fuck are we all here, damn it?
So this isn't a game show?
I know it's not a game show!
You mean food can poison you? Why didn't anybody tell me this? Do you know how much food I intake on an hourly basis? I've even ate out of the dumpster of an Arby's. An Arby's, I tell you!
There was the robbery.
Oh, that was a great night. For once, it wasn't actually Merv stealing stuff out of the house to settle his gambling debts.
What? I don't have a gambling problem. What they don't know is I have a betting problem.
You see, we just got back from painting the town red.
No, that was actually their scheme that night. To literally paint the town red. I don't know why. We came back to the house for more paint.
We entered the house to find a man in a mask stealing our shit.
He took all my garbage pail trading cards!
And my bum fight DVDs!
My copy of Werewolf in a Women's Prison.
I'm not going into what he stole from me.
It was the Star Trek dolls.
Action figures! They're from the original series. You don't understand how much they were worth!
I know what they're worth. Little girls love dolls.
So we just stood there, frozen, like a deer in headlights. I get that term now!
We didn't know what to do. I mean, I've seen a lot of Steven Seagal films, but I didn't know how to throw a karate chop.
Suddenly, he pulled out a gun.
The Gorn Captain in good condition goes for at least 200 on eBay.
I thought he was going to kill us all.
He told us to get down on the ground, man. I mean, I've seen this movie before.
I've seen this movie too. Trust me.
I knew he was going to execute us like a Nazi. Pianist style.
I thought he was going to butt rape us. Rudy was thinking of Pianist? Well, I was thinking of another great movie.
I had a Captain Kirk still in the package. Come on!
I knew I had to do something, so I whipped out my defense weapon.
It was a can of pepper spray. Not mace, but pepper spray.
It was one of those little cans the schoolgirls carry.
Trust me, I know they carry those.
I mean, what was Rudy trying to stop? A date rape?
See, I knew the pepper spray wasn't going to work, because criminals tend to build up an immunity to that sort of thing.
Before Rudy can get a spray off, the crook pistol whipped him in the face.
Rudy went down like an anorexic street whore. That erectile dysfunction, obese slug should have just kept the pepper spray in his purse.
Brad, what to say now?
Maybe it's one of these guys on eBay trying to sell my investments. Those dolls would have set me for life.
Action figures!
Whatever.
There was this one time we were out walking around the town trying to get some exercise. You know, trying to better ourselves.
We were actually just trying to get Merv to lose some weight, because we are not buying a car with more seat space.
When all of a sudden some real-life Oscar the Grouch decides to send his attack dogs on us.
I still have scars from that.
They were trespassing on someone's property, and his chihuahua got out of the house and attacked them.
Look, those little needle teeth of fury are very vicious feeling when they latch onto your... Ah, damn it! Ah!
Yeah, it burns, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Stop doing that in your tracks, you pussy! Oh. Here's some more to help with the pain.
Oh, I can tell you some things about battling for your life. Why, when there's a knife to your throat and urine's dripping down your leg, you'll do some pretty desperate things. I have scars from last-ditch attacks in places you won't even imagine.
Yeah, and wait, Spaulding's here?
Have you ever had to collapse a man's windpipe because he had a razor to your balls? Now there's a story.
Spaulding? He's in the house again? Oh, jeez. You guys might get your own story now.
I was investigated once. They never saw him again.
Oh, Spaulding's here. Now that guy's a hoot.
Hey, wire hangers aren't just for abortions.
This fucking burns! Well, I don't care if Spaulding is here. Did he bring ointment? Does he have some sort of cure for pepper spray?
And that was the girl that thought she got away. She didn't.
Oh, God, no. No. I don't know how we've survived living next to Spaulding this long. That much I can tell you.
You know, one of the stories on this show kind of reminds me of... Never mind.
Don't listen to Don. Spaulding is the greatest. I'll make you laugh till you piss.
Yeah, you made me laugh till I had to pee. I mean, Mr. Magoo does that too. But Leslie Nielsen movies. How can you go wrong? I'm hungry.
You know, a body really stinks up your house after about 5 days. Not that I would know.
Well, I do pee in his presence sometimes, but I'm not laughing.
There was fingers and a little bit of guts on the counter. She's begging for my mercy, and then I pulled the trigger. The camera's on?